Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a fun one. I am going to let a random generator pick out all the makeup from my collection and we're going to do a full face. I've never done a video like this where I've left my fate up to the makeup gods, so I am really hoping that it's going to turn out okay. But if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just get started. All right, so I did not come up with this video idea. I actually saw it from Gabriella Francis. I will link her channel down below in the description box. But the second I saw it, I thought it looked like so much fun. Plus, I recently just finished my Would I Repurchase series. I will link that playlist up above, and I kind of needed something to fill that spot every month. So I thought this would be a fun one to try, see if you guys like it, see if I like it, and maybe it can just be a monthly thing. I thought it's also a really good way to kind of go through my collection a little bit more, get some use out of things that are just sitting in drawers, not getting used. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm excited to see if what gets chosen today is all going to go or if it's going to turn into a huge disaster. But I am going to, we're just going to get started, right? I mean, there's no reason to dilly-dally. I am going to be using the Tiny Decisions app here. I spent a lot of time putting in every single product that I have in different categories. So I'm going to put up a screen recording, and I think the easiest way to do this is maybe do it in sections. Like we'll do base products first. All I have is my skincare on right now. So we'll do like primer, foundation, concealer, and then I'll apply all of those. Then we'll do some cheek products, bronzer, blush, highlight, and then after that we'll do eyeshadow and lips. That's what I'm thinking. So let's just start with primer and see what gets picked. These lists should be mostly updated. Touch and Soul No Poreblem Primer. Okay, so pore blurring primer. The only one that might be a little off is my lips because I haven't updated that since my declutter video and I need to go through that, but I think my list shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, so we have primer. Let's now go in with foundation, see which one's going to be chosen. Dior Dreamskin Cushion. I really like that foundation. So that's a good one. I don't know if it's going to go best with the pore blurring. And then concealer. Let's see. Natasha Denona HyGlam Concealer. Okay, interesting. So let me go grab all of those and we'll apply them. Here is the primer. You can see I've used a pretty decent chunk out of this. Primer's like one of those categories I would love to really have minimized. Like it's not a category I think I need 20 of. I would love to just have like less than 5 primers. I don't mind having an extensive collection. I don't think I'll ever be someone who has a minimal collection, but some categories like primer, setting spray, lip liners, I'm realizing there's no point in having an overabundance. This is a really nice primer, actually. It's not super pore blurring, where like you really just want to like target, like the Tarte Smoothing Primer. That one's kind of a very targeted pore blurring primer. This one just provides a little bit of something. There we go. And then for the foundation, it chose the Dior Dreamskin Cushion. I have the shade 020. This is actually one of my favorite cushion foundations, if you can't tell by how absolutely filthy disgusting this is. I think I'm actually on my refill. Pretty sure I'm on my refill here. Now, normally I do go in with this little kind of puff. So let's see. I actually think this is almost finished. And we're just gonna apply this. I'm actually not getting a lot off of this little puff here. I really think this foundation's close to finished. So I'm gonna use my sponge, see if that picks up a little bit more. I can go a little bit harder in here. I might actually put this in my empties after this. I didn't realize it was so low. I have to check and see. I don't think I have the refill. I'm pretty sure I put the refill in here. There is some still coming out, but I've had this for quite some time. It's a very nice foundation. It's very natural. Probably my favorite Dior foundation, to be honest. Okay, yeah. I feel pretty confident putting this in my empties. There's just not a lot coming off of this, which feels really nice. See, now we're making some progress on this video because I never would have known that that was close to empty. Let's now go in with my concealer from Natasha Denona. I have the shade N2. I did recently try out the foundation and do a first impression wear test on it, so I'll link that video up above as well. I actually really enjoyed that foundation, but I find it a little bit different than the concealer. Not in a bad way. This is a nice concealer, a little bit thick, not super covering, like you can still see my dark circles, but a nice one nonetheless. We've been blessed so far with the base, so we'll see where it goes from there. I don't think I put powder in my wheel because I don't have too many powders, and a lot of them are powder foundations. I just didn't want to apply powder over powder. So I'm just gonna take my under eye powder that I always use and just set my under eyes. So that way my concealer won't crease, but I'm not gonna set the rest of my face. Well, as I proceed to set the rest of my face, just in the T-zone, just a little bit, whatever was left on my brush. And this powder, by the way, is the McGrath Sublime powder. I accidentally dropped it, so I just crushed it into this little container, and I'm trying to finish it off. Do not want to waste that product. All right, so we have the base done. Let's now go into cheek products, I guess. We'll start with bronzer. So for bronzer, the YSL matte bronzer, okay. Bronzer, then we have blush. So for blush, the Chanel Beige and Coral. Okay, that's going to be a very warm toned blush. And then for highlight, there you are. The Chantecaille Pro Lumiere. That's a cool tone highlight. Pulling a lot of luxury. Very interesting. Dior, Natasha, Chantecaille, Chanel. Okay, so let me go find those and we'll do cheeks. So here's what the YSL looks like. Super luxury. Really like this bronzer, actually. It is very, very matte though. And I'm just gonna go in lightly at first because I never remember how pigmented my bronzers are. Just kind of frame my face. So it's a little bit hard pressed, like it has zero pickup, so seems like I can go in a little bit more. I am a bronzer girl though, not blush as much. I do not have blush blindness, but I do have bronzer blindness. 100%. Fully recognize it. Sometimes when I'm rewatching videos, I'm like, oh, the cheekbones are chiseled. That's okay. All right, there's the bronzer. Like I said, super matte, really pretty, a nice shade. I have the shade 2. Now we're gonna go in with the blush. And this was like a limited edition blush in Beige and Coral. Like I said, very warm, very peachy. So let's see how this looks. This has been a minute since I've used this blush, so I'm glad I'm getting some use out of this, because sometimes with these like limited edition, ooh, that's more pigmented than I was thinking. These limited edition products, they kind of sit in the back and don't get used. And that's why I kind of wanted to do this video, just get some use out of some products that weren't in projects or anything like that, like my deck of panning or my Shop My Stash. Kind of just gives me an opportunity to use things one time, but one use is one use. This is pretty, just a little bit brighter than I wanted. I'm gonna just take, this is like my powder brush normally. So I'm gonna just kind of go over that. It's a little bit better. It looks more stark in the camera, but in person it's not as bright. And then we're gonna go in with my highlighter. This is like my most beautiful highlight in my collection. This is my Chantecaille highlight. I love the front of this with the pearls. I will say it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel luxe like the YSL, but it's still very beautiful. And it looks like this. It has this beautiful embossing on it. And while it is beautiful, there's no denying that, it's also a very nice highlight, which is why I've kept it, because there's a lot of Chantecaille products that I've decluttered over the years because all they are pretty packaging, but not like good products. This one's really pretty though. Gives like a nice duochrome shine a little bit, but it is like more of a cool tone pink, like an icy pink, I guess. That's all right, I'm not in charge. We're telling the universe it's gonna go perfectly together with whatever eyeshadow gets picked. So there are cheeks. Okay, now for the fun part, the make or break part, we're gonna do eyeshadow and lips. This is definitely the part that I am the most worried about. I'm going to make sure I screen record since I didn't do that for the first part. I'm sure I already put some text on there, but let's go to eyeshadow palettes. We have quite a few to pick from, so moment of truth. I'm going to spin the wheel. And it is giving us Unearthly Devour. Okay. All right, that is an unused palette in my collection, so that is nice that I'm gonna use that palette, but I did purchase that palette because a friend of mine, Donna from My New Obsession, I'll link her channel down below as well. I loved her eye looks, but I've kind of been thinking that like it's a little bit too much for me personally. We'll make it work, we'll make it work. And then lips, where are my lips? Lips. Because this is going to tell me like what direction to go, I think, although I do have a lot of nudes. YSL Rouge Pur 85. I'm going to pull a backup just in case, because I did declutter some YSL lipsticks. So I don't want to like respin and come back. MAC the Naturalist. Okay, I know I have that one. So if I can't find the YSL, we'll go with the MAC one. Let me go find those products. I honestly am still stunned that the wheel pulled this palette, maybe because it's been on my mind a little bit, because I've been thinking about ranking all of my Unearthly palettes, but then I was like, well, then I'm gonna have to use this one, and I don't know if I really want to. Here's what it looks like. Like I said, it's pretty, it's just very dark for me. If you are subscribed and you know my makeup style, it's very, very dark. So we're gonna see if we can maybe lighten this up, build it a little bit. I did also, if you didn't notice, do my brows while I was grabbing these. And then I did have the YSL lipstick in 85. So I'm thinking maybe we'll just apply the lipstick first so I can kind of see. I mean, most of my lipsticks are like a pinky nude. I wasn't super surprised. This is kind of like a frosted pink. Don't know how much I love this. It does have that classic YSL smell. I love it. It's like fruit, watermelon, which is such a nice change from like that bakery vanilla buttercream scent that most brands love to do. Okay. I mean, we're a little lucky on the lips, but what am I going to do with this palette? I'm thinking, like I haven't even swatched it. Maybe I can lighten it up by putting one of these iridescents on top of it, like Bite on top of Ravage. I think that I will go more for like the maroons rather than the greens. So let's just see how that works out. I'm going to put Devour in the crease. We're going to do Carnivore, maybe either as liner or outer corner. Then I'm going to do Ravage all over the lid with like Bite kind of sprinkled on top. That's my plan. So I'm going to go in with like super fluffy brushes because that's also going to help just lighten up the pigment. And we're going to get started. I'm going to try to, the hardest part about doing my eyes is always trying to keep my eyes straight and closed and not lifting it. I do wish this palette kind of had just a little bit of a blending out shade. Like that would have helped me immensely. I think this Devour palette, and correct me if I'm wrong, like down in the comments, I think this came out for like a Valentine's Day launch. It was a mystery box. And at least this is buildable. So if I kind of just keep going back and forth, it kind of shears out the color a little bit, which is why I love Unearthly's formula. So I'm going to continue to just kind of working that out. This is my easier eye, so sometimes if I started here, but I can visualize it more if I start going over here. It's just a little bit less hooded. Now I can try and make this one match as best I can. Just have like more skin, I don't know. I'm also going to take the same brush and just tightly put it on the lower lash line. While I have this shade out. And then take a clean brush and just diffuse it. Okay, now that I have this Devour shade, which I think we can agree sheared out pretty nicely here, I'm deciding if I want to only use Carnivore as liner, if I want to put a little bit on the outer corner. I think first I'm going to take Ravage with my finger and tap it on top. Because if I want that depth, I'm going to have to put it on top or it'll just get covered up by the shimmer. So really pretty shimmer and goes perfectly with that color. So I'm going to take like a tiniest bit of Carnivore. Just lightly put that in the outer V. Just to add a tiny bit of dimension, but not too much darkness. And then I usually take whatever's left over on this brush and try to like define the crease that I want, not the crease that I have. And then I'm going to swatch these iridescents. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in with Bite, but I remember Donna saying that the iridescents didn't match the rose. Like you would think this would be more pinky and this would be more green. Yeah, Bite is like more of a blue, and then Snack, well, Snack's like a warmer pink to gold. And then Trap is definitely more green. I think I want to go in more with this one, which is Snack. So I'm going to take Snack and we're going to kind of just like tap it right there on like the first half. Just to kind of lighten up that shimmer. And it'll also affect the flip a little bit, that base shimmer underneath. That is so much better. That brought the lightness that I needed personally. Okay, I'm so much happier now. And then I'm going to take a small little brush and we'll apply that also in the inner corner. And also just a teeny tiny bit in the inner swoop here. I find that opens up my eye a little bit more. Okay, I like that. Now, I'm I'm going to take this pencil brush and just lightly define the outer corner with that carnivore shade. I really only do like a third just to kind of lift my eye. I'm not doing anything crazy, special techniques around here. This is kind of my go-to technique. Just switch the colors up. And that's really kind of about it. Does it go with the lipstick? Not really, not really. I think I need like a darker lipstick. Maybe I'll just take Clinique Black Honey. That's my go-to when something's not cool enough. And just add that on top, just to make it go a little bit more. That might be cheating, but that's okay. There we go. I think that's better. It's not great, but it's better. And I'm gonna go apply mascara, put my hair down, and we'll talk about these products. Here is the finished look with the random generator picking out all of my products, except for the lipstick I added on top. Actually, I'm not terribly mad at this. The eye look, I was definitely worried about, but it turned out much better than I thought. Let's just quickly breeze over these products, give you my thoughts. Clearly, I like this primer. Would I repurchase it? No, but I will prioritize finishing it. It's one that I like. The foundation is going in my empties bin. It's hard for me to say. I would probably say that I did use 80% of it, but probably the other 20% kind of just dried out from age, to be honest. It is quite old in my collection. I do know that I replaced the cushion, but it might have just dried out. I am going to call this an empty, though. I feel like I've used it enough where I can call it an empty. So that's actually really exciting for me. The concealer, really nice concealer. Nothing bad to say about this. Like it a lot. Use it quite often. Tried and true. Don't think I'd repurchase it. Like, it's not a holy grail concealer, but it's a really nice concealer. Happy to get some use out of it. For the cheek products, I can't believe I got all high-end. This Chantecaille highlight, I already told you how beautiful it is. I love the packaging on it. It's a really pretty, just kind of iridescent highlight. I could have used this on the inner corner too. That would have kind of tied it in. Oh well. The Chanel, nice, solid. I kind of purchased this when I was in my like luxury limited edition era. Would I like, if this was launched again, would I purchase it? No, but it's pretty, it's nice. I like it. Much more pigmented than I remember. It's kind of toned down a little bit though, even just since I like put my powder blush on top, it already kind of died. And then the bronzer, I also really, really enjoy, like this a lot. I remember when this first launched, it took me forever to try and find my shade because it was sold out everywhere. This is a product that feels luxury, is a luxury formula. YSL does great powder products. The lipstick, I might declutter, honestly. Actually, I am going to declutter this. I just don't like how like pearly, frosty it is. I know that's kind of like the rage right now, but I'm ready to part ways with this. So I am going to declutter that. And then the eyeshadow palette, surprise. Would you like to see me rank all of my Unearthly palettes? I do need to use them no pan left behind first. So I'm working my way through them all. I'll probably finish this one since I used not half the shades, but close to half the shades. You'll probably see this in my September no pan left behind. I'll just like keep it out on my desk, use the rest of these shades so I can cross it off. So after that, I have a few more other palettes from Unearthly I'd like to use and then rank them. So let me know if I should do that sooner rather than later. But quite surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. I know Unearthly's formula, but when you look at this and see how dark it is, it just kind of scared me a little bit. But I don't think it turned out as dark as I was picturing. I was able to really sheer out this Devour color and make it a little bit more workable for me. I'm quite happy with the look. So that's everything that I have. Let me know if you liked this type of video. It's new for me. I'm kind of testing it out, seeing how I like it personally, and seeing what the feedback is. I'd love to know because I might just make this a monthly thing. It's nice to use some products that are in my collection, like the Dior. Probably I wouldn't have realized that was done and finished with for quite some time until I got around to using it. So it's kind of helpful in that way, and just seeing what I think of products like this YSL lipstick. When would I have decluttered this? No idea. So happy with the outcome of this video, but I would love to hear your thoughts. After that, this is where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.